So I come across a deal on a 6.0, an LS, so we're gonna go and take a look at it and bring it home and possibly use the new gantry crane today. All right, so going to get this 6.0. I don't know anything about it. It's kind of a friend deal. My friend was gonna buy it and he decided that he don't have any spare cash right now. So we're going over to this guy's house, and supposedly it's a 6.0, got like 150,000 miles, something like that. Has computer, wiring harness. Comes with an engine stand, I think. I think he's just ready to get rid of the whole deal. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I have no idea, but it'll be some type of future project to see on the channel. So that's where we're headed. That's what we're going to do today.
We're going to LS swap Melissa's Ruby.
I don't know if I want to do that right now. I'm going to have to
still not all the way done with the HEMI swap.
Right now is a good time to take a break. Nothing is working right at the moment. I don't have any issues. Everything is working. It's just a lot of work to get done. And I'm trying to hurry, and that's my problem, because I have a JK coming in. I got parts metal cloak, full metal cloak lift coming in tomorrow, and I've got to get to where I can move this Jeep out of the way so I can get that customer done. So other than that, everything is going smooth. No real issues. There's going to be some fabrication and all that, but we'll get it done. All right, so we bought it. We're on our way home. Looks like we are going to get to use the new gantry crane to get it out of the back of the truck. So we'll see you at the house. All right, so here it is, on the engine stand, gantry crane, done exactly what we wanted it to do. But we bought this 6.0, it came out of an 04, 05, somewhere around in there, 2500. So we have all the stuff that goes along with it. We got the intake, coil packs, the wiring harness, computer, and all the front end accessories that goes along with it. Alternator, air condition, we got everything with it. So like I said, it was a pretty good deal. I don't know what I'm going to do with it right now, but we will figure out something in the future and make use of this stuff. All right, we're back out in the shop again this morning. I got it back from the exhaust shop, so let me show you what we got done. So you can see it coming off the exhaust manifold there. It's coming down. Catalytic converter here. Move all the way around. Up through here. Back through there. All right, so I moved to the back so you can see in here it's got two pipes coming back. The Y pipe is right here. Then it comes back into a 3-inch. The tube up there is like 2 1/4, I believe it is, and then we switch to 3-inch pipe coming back to a Flowmaster Super 44 He's got it tucked up nice and tight, and then 3-inch out the back. And I'll move around so you can see the back. So it's coming down right by the shock. It barely touches the shock at full droop, which is what it is now. And then of course we got the slant cut right behind the gas tank below the frame, and it does sit higher than the tank. So very happy with the job that he did. I think it looks pretty good. So today we are working underneath. So I've got the transmission cooler hoses right here, all the way back. These are the stock transmission hoses off of a Jeep Cherokee. They work really well to get up to this point, and then I will connect them to, I think it's an Evil Energy transmission cooler. So that's what we're working on today. I'll get started on it. Well, I've already got started on it. You see what I've got done, but I'm going to try and get the radiator and all installed today. So keep watching. So back to hooking things up. This sensor right here I'm putting in, that is the ambient air temperature sensor. So we got to make sure that we install this back in. Just like that. And I'll tuck this wire back underneath here so it's out of the way. But when you're taking these sensors off, make sure that you remember to put all of this stuff back on. So like I said before, the wiring harness that I got was from Hotwire. Everything is labeled, so everything here you need to hook back up. All right, so another problem that I ran into, I got the cooler right here, and when I put it in, it's hitting this bar here, and this bar here. So what I did was I just took it to the press, put me a custom bend in there just to bend it in just a little bit. That won't really hurt anything at all. It's just support for the grill. So we bent it in just for clearance. All right, so I got my cooler in, fixing to do these lines. And I'm not using the worm gear type clamps. I'm using an Oetiker clamp, which is that right there. All right. So it uses this kind of pliers right here, which crimps the end in. And I'll show you how these work. I'll get the camera on there. Right there. And you just squeeze and it crimps it in. It's a one-time use clamp, but they work really, really well. Squeeze the hose on. So that's what I'm using instead of using a worm gear type clamp. I don't like worm gear type clamps. They always come loose on me. So starting to work on the radiator. So I got to wire up the fan. So I got these two. The blue one would be the positive, the black would be the negative. So I went and bought this, which is in my hand right here. So this is a weather tight connector. I've got both ends of it. So I'm going to solder that onto here so I can just unclip this to take it loose. So that's what we're working on now. So just using a heat gun. You've seen me use these things before. They're heat shrink with solder on the inside. See if I can get it to focus. And then I'll slide these heat shrink right here over top of those, shrink those on, and we're good to go. All right, so now I'll cover that up with some split loom all the way up to where it's zip tied right here. And then my other half coming off of my fan controller, I'll put this on there so I can have a connection where I can take it apart. And I just got this at my local auto parts store. All right, so we're getting close. So I have the lower radiator hose on. I've got the upper radiator hose on. I've got to come over here and I got to finalize the transmission cooler hoses. This is my power steering cooler. But at this time, I've got to finish up the transmission lines so they don't leak. I'll put the battery in it, And today we may start this thing. We'll give it a try and see what happens. So hopefully I get that far today. So let me hook up these lines and put some fluids in it. We'll give her a shot. All right, so I got all the fluids filled up as good as I could. I'm sure the radiator's gonna come down some. Same way with the power steering. Transmission fluid is topped off. Nothing is in the cooler for the transmission fluid and all that. But it's all ready to go. I've got my wires pulled out of the way that I'm not using at the moment for the fan and all that, but we don't need all of that. Got the battery all hooked up.
Melissa Cox.
We'll see. We'll see how everything does. I'm gonna put you guys right here. I'm gonna go bump the starter and see what happens. So you can imagine the excitement on my face right now. It runs. I heard the power steering hum a little bit of whine there. It's not doing it at the moment, but it's running. I don't hear any exhaust leaks or anything like that. This is what it sounds like. So I do have oil pressure. I looked at that as soon as I started up. Oil pressure came up. So very excited. Now I've got a lot to do because none of my linkages or nothing like that is hooked up. So still got a lot to do. But guys, it runs. So thank you for watching.